Look, y'all, it snowed last night. I'm gonna grab some of these greens and bring them to the chickens. Whoa, now that's a turnip. I hope the chickens like them. There's an egg. Yay. They like them. Woohoo. I also put in these little tires, and the chickens hop on them and run under them, and it's kind of fun looking, so. So it is ridiculously cold out here. I'm going to take my little egg inside, and I'm going to make some hot vegetable soup for our family today. Every time is just a little bit different, but I showed this in a previous video and was asked to actually do a video specifically about how I make this. So in this pot I have sauteing a whole white onion, about half a bag or so of baby carrots, and probably 4 sticks of celery there. I love celery, so you can cut that down if you want to. I'm just going to let this sweat until it's really soft. I am going to throw in some garlic powder, sea salt, and pepper. My veggies are sauteing. I just took out this meat from the freezer. This is about 2 pounds or so of ground beef. This is frozen, but Mama didn't think about it, so, you know, we're just cooking it from frozen. Sunshine has helped me to gather some vegetables. We have home-canned lima beans, potatoes. This is tomatoes with okra. I may use another can of tomatoes, I'm not positive. And these are green peas. I cannot grow them to save my life, so we still buy peas. Then in the sink here, I have a few things thawing. This is tomato juice. If you do not have your own, like, home frozen or whatever tomato juice, you can use canned. I would use like one of those big cans of tomato juice in this recipe if I didn't have this. And then these are just greens from the garden. I think it's a mix of turnip and mustard greens. It may have some kale in it. I don't really remember. I just kind of mix them all when I'm harvesting. And then I keep them in baggies after I've cooked them down. And it's just really easy to throw in a soup or to have as a side. So I really like doing this. My veggies here have been simmering until my carrots are just barely fork tender. They're still a little crisp. But I'm going to go ahead and throw this meat in. And I'm going to put the lid on so that this can steam some. Once your meat is cooked and it's small as you want it, you know, you've broken it up as much as you want, you're going to go ahead and start adding in your vegetables. I'm not draining this meat. It's extremely lean. Because of where I get it, I trust it, and it's not very greasy, so I never really drain this meat, and it's always been fun. But if your meat is more fatty, then this is when you would do that. So I'm going to I didn't drain my lima beans. Just pour that in. Tomatoes and okra. Oh, that smells like summertime. And I'm not draining my peas either. I also have some garlic green beans from last night. Just leftovers I'm going to toss in there. I do not like wasting food. If I have a night where we have a lot of vegetable leftovers, I almost always make soup. Because I just can't stand to throw stuff away like that. Especially if it's something I grew myself. It's just way too much work to let leftovers go to waste. Next are my garden greens. Juice and all. Come on. They are still frozen, as you can see. Ideally, this would have been thawed. It's not a big deal, but it is going to take a little longer for this soup to simmer. But that's alright. Last but certainly not least is my homegrown tomato juice. Just trying to break this up to get it out of the bag. Most of it was frozen. A little bit came out that was already thawed, but this will break down really quickly. Woo, I'm making a mess. You can see there is enough liquid in this pot so that it's not going to scorch on the bottom. So I'm just going to put my lid on so that this can steam some and melt that tomato juice. We just have a few hunks of that tomato juice left to thaw. So this is not boiling yet. I just cranked it up a little bit. But the level tells me that I probably could add a little bit more. I kind of want to bulk this up some more. So I am going to add in another jar of my tomatoes and okra. You could put a can of corn in this. Woo! I always make a mess in the kitchen, y'all. It's just who I am. You could put mixed veggies. You could do all kinds of stuff. I'm kind of wishing I had put that whole bag of carrots in here now. But this is my 8-quart stock pot. And so this is probably almost 7 quarts of soup. What we don't eat tonight, we can have tomorrow. Or I can freeze it for later use. So I'm going to let this simmer. I may add in some tomato paste in a little while if I want it to be a little thicker. and we'll just see how it comes out. Alright friends, it's been simmering for several hours now. We've already had a taste. It is wonderful. As you can see, it is packed with veggies, but there's also plenty of broth in here. You can add more tomato juice or even some chicken stock or beef stock if you'd like to add more broth, and really I tend to do that on the second day when we've eaten quite a bit of it, just so that there is more liquid. I like a brothy soup, but this is also really hearty. This would be perfect with some cornbread or some kind of like a corn casserole or something on the side. Spoon bread, something of that nature. Awesome. It's going to be wonderful. We're having a great dinner tonight. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I'll catch you next time. Bye.